Siniša, big welcome back to you.
Hello, hello. Nice
How
to
are
see you,
you?
Annie.
You too. So, maybe before we begin, you could say a little bit about yourself and your role, and a little bit about Telekom Serbia, where you work.
Yes, of course. So I am a manager of Department for Data Analytics and Automation of all data-driven business processes here in Telekom for the last period of 2 years. And we are covering different kind of data modeling, data management problems and requests, then analytical reporting, BI, and also in the previous 4 years, we are covering machine learning and AI. So we are currently stepping into the world of agentic AI and generative AI. So this year brought us many new different things emerging. From the company perspective, we are covering a market of 11 million customers currently. And from some geographical point of view, we are spreading from Western Europe up to Greece and Turkey. So there is large potential to cover many services for mobile or fixed segment. And we are currently trying to develop all necessary components to present ourselves as a kind of technological and AI working hub in this part of Europe.
Okay, so you've got big ambitions. Before we look at them, can we just rewind a little bit and have a look at the AI you've already got in place, which you did refer to, and how you're going to leverage that? And might that be by combining what you have in place with newer kinds of AI?
Yes, sure. For now, we have a couple of models in place. So it was pretty much analytics AI in the previous period of time. We invested a lot into machine learning upskilling and competences. So also our analytical stack has followed that. And we have deployed between 12 to 15 machine learning models. Some of them were retired meanwhile. Last year, we stepped into the space of generative AI to come to some preliminary solutions for, let's say, AI assistants for our workforce. And right now we are developing our first AI assistant for the sales process on our e-commerce web portal, and it will be deployed until the end of this year. Since the newest, most emerging trend this year is agentic AI, we have developed architecture for implementation of AI agents here in Telekom Serbia.
Okay, so when we were chatting before, you mentioned the words partial automation. And can you just, I think what it means, but I'm not sure, is that you mean kind of islands of automation rather than end to end. And could you explain what you mean? Give us some examples, please.
Since the telecom environment and the whole ecosystem is very complex, it's structured in different layers, and we always have some IT and business view over some execution of some business processes that are important. And quite often we have siloed approach to management of these processes. So in order to implement AI properly, we have invested a lot into understanding specific business processes, then having them monitored and defined to the latest detail, to the least amount of detail, and to be sure that we will be able to partially automate it first, and then through AI agents to automate end-to-end. So for example, we have invested a lot into customer segmentation, and from the very first initial stages of manually segmenting customers, doing analytical projects to have some customer groups, to have some first CVM campaigns. Right now, we are in the phase where a lot of things are automated, but still the very part of communicating the offer towards the customer is being still done manually. There is no generative AI there. There is no personalized approach that is data-driven, but everything else in the background is automated. So when a specific campaign or approach towards customer base is needed for, let's say, fixed or converged services or some mobile tariff, we have an approach that is going through a workflow that is totally automated. And we are right now investing into a kind of specific analytical program which will have an output that is fully personalized customer offers, and preventing that very often we have a situation in telco that different channels are approaching the same customer multiple times, calling them, approaching them door to door, sending them SMS, Viber, email, lots of channels to approach. So this analytical program should personalize the offer through AI, and also it should identify the optimal channel and timing for approaching households. You know, since a lot of people are working or going away from home, and we are spending resources to come to their home, and it's for nothing. So we want to be able to implement AI to help us through that, let's say, some kind of fixed mobile convergence effort in the next period of time.
Okay, well, that's quite interesting. So that's about better and more efficient use of assets.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
So you said that analytics AI is 99%, I think, of what you've implemented so far. Can you talk about generative AI and how you view its main usefulness, which I think is that it can talk to the data?
Yes, well, a lot of things are moving on a global scale. We are following all of that. We have it on strategy level, and we have it also on technological level to monitor what's going on. A lot of generative AI efforts are failing right now because we had great hype at the beginning of last year, and it spread across this year, but a lot of these projects that were set up quickly are now failing because of bad foundations, and because of the decisions that were made to get to the results quickly. We are a little bit slower in the implementation of generative AI because we are trying to implement the right methodology. And that means that we need to build the house from the foundation to the roof, not be trying to converging to the roof and thinking about what the view will be, but having the right pillars and foundations for everything. So we are trying to invest smartly, and we are right now investigating what our AI factory would look like for next year that could support full implementation of generative AI models. We have tested Microsoft Copilot so far as in the form of some individual productivity tool, but it has not gained so much traction within the organization. But we are now stepping into more activity with enterprise version of GPT to be able to test whether we can employ that LLM and train some telco specific models there. The output will be in text. We don't have any kind of need for computer vision or image recognition or any kind of audio processing for now. We would like to maintain our communication with the customers to be natural language, so that human resources maintain control. We don't want to have any kind of AI bots replying to the customers, except when it comes to text. But when it comes to employing LLMs and textual models for speeding up business process internally, we are fully open to that, and we will try to invest more in the next period of time. For now, we have developed this AI mentor that is fully generative AI, and it's a kind of quick guide for our sales force, for agents that is like 1,000 people, and they use it to help them search the knowledge base fast, because a lot of CVM campaigns are changing very rapidly, and salesmen don't have time to study all of that information. And AI Mentor also has another dimension of use, and that is for new agents, for young people that didn't have enough time to learn and become experts in telco products and services. So they use the AI Mentor to help them what should be communicated in some specific ways or in some specific situations. And the other one is this AI Sales Wizard, which will be deployed I think in December. So in our next session or occasion next year, I can show you a live demo of that. It will be deployed on our most complex product web page for our 4P service, that is converged package of mobile and fixed services. And it will try to assist our customer base in the process of creating the shopping cart and to suggest them all of the right products. And it will be carried out during textual chats, like natural language inputs, and the customer will receive the answer in the same language it was asked. So it's like Serbian Latin, Serbian Cyrillic, and we will also think about the tone. If the customer sounds like he is saying something in jargon, or he is a younger person using some slang, or if the customer is more formal, some entrepreneur, stuff like that. So we will see.
So when we were talking ahead of this session, Siniša, we were talking a little bit about how generative AI is enabling you to democratize data within the organization. I wonder if you could say a little bit about that,
yes.
because that sounds really interesting.
We entered a very interesting POC with Microsoft to further develop Power BI and expand it with Copilot Studio. And we want to be offering BI agents throughout the organization. And
so BI is business intelligence, yes?
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
And to enable some kind of concept chatting with data. I found myself having a very big support on director level for that, because they don't have time to go into the data in Microsoft Excels, and quite often they have some specific requests. So if we are able to build some good semantic layer to have a good business dictionary, at least for the most important reports that are being used daily, weekly, we should be able to build that kind of generative AI component that enables different people, directors, managers, operatives, to chat with data and to say, why is something happening? What was the month-on-month component? What was the year-on-year? Can you construct me some kind of pie chart? or something like that. We should have that custom component set up very fast. So the whole concept of democratization is sure to be spreading more wider than for now. In the past period of 6-7 years, we had data democratization, not regarding the decision making, because the decision making is under my jurisdiction, but in the part of self-service activities. So there is no need that my team of 28 people is doing all the work of analytical reporting. We should be the ones gaining and giving access to a wide audience and giving them good data management principles, all the good tools, and all the right ways to access data and to process it in everyday use. So we have like self-service in sales, in network monitoring analytics, in CVM. We are setting it up in CVM and in controlling, also in different parts of HR, sales process improvement. So it's a kind of democratization effort, but it's causing a lot of people to be upskilled and to have some knowledge over data and data analysis, which might take time. And also they need time and energy to pull away a little bit from their everyday work, to go into some BI tool and to approach that data. They should gain on speed and efficiency, and my team will no longer be a bottleneck, but still a significant amount of upskilling is needed on their side. Generative AI component should enable us to bridge that kind of gap, and to enable guys that are like 100% business, they don't understand data analysis. They should be able to ask some good questions, and I think that we can help them to engineer properly their prompts to have good queries towards a tool.
Okay, so again, when we were talking, I know that you've built out as head of your department, and obviously in tune with the overall organization, you've built a roadmap with milestones for the next 3 to 5 years. And I mean, would I be right in thinking that that involves the network, it involves employees and customers, and it's kind of all of them and involves all of them? Could you
Yes.
just talk us a little bit about what the milestones are and your priorities?
Yes, let me give you kind of background. We had
Thank
very busy summer where we had external consultant, and they have led very detailed sessions with pretty much all departments in Telekom Serbia that are involving themselves with data and potential of using AI. So we have come to the list of 47 use cases that can be implemented in the period of 3 to 5 years. And for that purpose, they have defined with us a kind of AI factory, which lists all prerequisites for successful implementation of AI. So from governance and management perspective, up to the very application layer, infrastructure layer, having all security and policy toolkits installed, and having HR component that is people upskilled and fully up to date with what needs to be done. So the AI strategy is completed, and right now it is on the top management level in Telekom Serbia side to decide and to define the proper roadmap of steps, what needs to be done, and which use cases should be prioritized first. And from my perspective, we will be ready because of the thing and the fact that a lot of these boxes in that AI factory, a lot of those machines, tools are already set up, and we have everything that needs to be here right now to start, and we can very quickly build new things, especially right now, since today is the first day that we have go live for the first time with our AWS data platform. We have completed this very big project, so that is a kind of big enabler. A large chunk of that AI factory is to have the right data platform. So from this day onwards, I can say that we are one step closer to having AI.
Okay. And thinking about your roadmap and your 47 use cases, which seems to me a lot, but actually, I suppose not really, if you think about what you do. Do you have an overall goal? I mean, have you got a single aim in mind, or are there multiple?
Yes, we have that vision, and it's set up and articulated by our CEO. And that is to improve overall productivity of resources. And there is many different means to approach that and to have it implemented. One is through Copilot and individual productivity tool, and we will test that in detail to see whether we can use that as an individual productivity tool. But also through the full automations or partial automations through agentic AI. So that overall goal that is spreading across the organization through network, through HR, through finance, accounting, CVM, digital marketing, is to have that productivity dimension set up, to set up good KPIs that will be measured on a weekly and monthly and quarterly basis. And that will serve us as a kind of dimension and benchmark, whether we have employed AI properly and whether something has moved, either from revenue side, from cost side, externally, let's say, or either in the form of internal efficiency, so that we are converging and we can do more with less time. The overall goal is, if we have in mind that Telekom Srbija organization is pretty old, that average employee is over 45 years of age, and that the company itself has more than 10,000 employees. In the next period of time, more than 30% of employees will retire. So our overall plan, that is like a strategic goal, is to not to have new people, and to employ digital labor working force as much as possible. So we will have digital resources for the first time, and in order for that to happen, to have like someone doing administrative jobs in procurement, in logistics, in HR, in finance, in contact center, in Salesforce. We must work and deploy a lot of AI agents, a lot, maybe hundreds of them, and to be able to have proper orchestration of everything for specific domains, to have it all under control. So these things are expensive, and they can bring us efficiency and productivity only if we align everything, and if we are doing all of that from one place. If we have a siloed approach, or if everything is doing in the way they should think it's being done like that, on their own, we will get to the position where we will have many problems, and it will be unmanageable. It will be left out of some next future business strategy, and it's not our goal. So If that part of the workforce will leave the company, many of those business processes will need to be reinvented and modernized with AI, and possibly we will invest more in the workforce that has more competence and more skills, and for them to be able to bring some new value to us. So that's why at the beginning I said that we are trying to become a technological and AI work hub for this part of the world. And it's a big statement, but having everything in mind, I don't see anything less than that.
Okay, and so if we look beyond your roadmap, which I'm sure you do frequently, are you expecting the automations to become more complex as you introduce new services, and also as networks get more complicated, maybe when 6G rears its head, for example?
Yes, we were a little bit quite late with 5G, but right now we have that tender set up in Serbia. Well, apart from all things that are happening right now in Serbia, 5G was not the one setting up like 5 years ago when it was the time. A lot of operators were waiting, and 4G networks were upgraded to the maximum version of that technology. So I can say that we had 4G plus in the previous period of time. We also had fiber optics set up in rural places in Serbia. So it's a kind of paradox. And it slowed down maybe 5G. We didn't see use cases for our economy. And we saw it mainly for B2B and kind of machine-to-machine communication. But right now, as AI is speeding up, we think that a lot of AI tools will be set up and available for mobile customers in the next year and the years to come. So we must invest in 5G. It will be for start for the radio access network and for the whole customer base. And it was being tested thoroughly in the last period of time. So we will have that set up at the beginning of next year. And we'll be thinking about also network slicing and having some kind of private networks on 5G that can be further used to help businesses and big corporations doing business in Serbia.
Okay, we've just got 1 minute left. So I was just going to ask you how big an effort it has been to get your data ready to use with AI, because obviously that's the most fundamental thing of
Yes,
all.
that's the most important part, I would say, and it never ends. And you always have data quality, and you always have new skills, and that's why it's interesting. So for AI to be ready to be used, you need to consolidate all data sources into one single source of truth, and that is like 5 years ago. But we did it last year for the final time. And a second thing is having proper people understanding that data and working on some kind of AI ready layer that will be approached by AI. No matter whether it's machine learning or AI agents, that layer should be ready in order to preserve your technological stack and to have the right allocation of resources.
Siniša, it's been a huge pleasure as always. Thank you very much. And we look forward to having you back in the future. And so we can hear about your progress, because you're quite a trailblazer. Thank you very much indeed.